Congratulations, come on in.
If you're watching this video, it's because you received an offer to join our training program.
You've been chosen because we feel like you've got everything it takes to make a real difference in classrooms across the country.
This is the start of a very exciting journey, and we've got a few things to talk you through that will help you on your way.
So let's get started.
As you'll have seen in your offer email, you have a number of tasks to complete before we can confirm your offer. You'll need to do all these tasks within 10 days of receiving the email. Once you've completed them all, your offer to join the programme will be confirmed. Don't panic. It might feel like a long list, but we're here to help you every step of the way. If at any point you're worried about completing them within 10 days, just reach out to your admissions officer. They're there to support you and will make sure you're not left behind. Let's take a closer look at each task.
First thing first, it's time to accept your offer, and this needs to be done within 10 days. It's really quick and easy. Just log into the offer portal using the email address and password from your application and accept it. It's that easy. The link to the offer portal is in your offer email as well.
We ask you to provide some personal information at this stage. This will help us understand your personal circumstances when matching you with the employment school for your training. That bit is really important, and we really encourage you to be honest so that we can support you as best we can throughout the matching process and your training. If your circumstances change at any time, please do let your recruiter or officer know so we can get that updated for you. Please be assured that schools don't get those informations. It's for Teach First use only.
Next, we asked for your CV. Your CV will be seen by head teachers who are looking to employ new staff at their school. For this reason, you should take your time with this task and tailor it to what a head teacher would want to see about a future employer of their school. You should treat this as if you were completing a CV for any professional role. Be sure to complete it thoroughly and to a high standard. And make sure you say yourself. We know you've got loads of amazing experience to share, so don't do yourself a disservice. That might be the only thing that the school sees before deciding who to employ, so you want to make sure that it's representative of everything you have to offer. You won't be able to submit the form with any time gaps, so you need to account for all time, including any employment breaks. Your CV will be reviewed internally and we'll be in touch if you need to make any changes.
Let's take a look at some top tips for submitting your CV. In the career history section, please include all past employment as well as in volunteering and placements you've completed, including an in-depth summary of your responsibilities were in each role so that your future employer can see how much you have to offer. Check your spelling, make sure you're using the right version of words that have multiple meanings, use capitals correctly, languages should be capitalized, English, Spanish, French, for example. All the other subjects should be written in lowercase, for example, maths, science, and history. Check your punctuation and avoid overly long sentences. Only use abbreviations that everyone will understand, such as PE and RE. Your tone should be neutral, not overly formal, but not chatty.
As an initial teacher training provider, Teach First must ensure that all trainees have the health and physical capability to teach. Teach First therefore asks you to fill a health questionnaire. This form is a standard form to ensure you and the students in your classroom are safe while you teach. We'll also use this to identify any reasonable adjustments that you might need to ensure you're fully supported and you have everything you need in the program to thrive. This isn't about catching you out. Please note, declaring a medical or mental health condition does not mean you won't be able to do the program. It's there to help us help you. For more information about the questionnaire, you can check out the guidance on the offer portal. Again, please be assured that the school does not see this information. This is only used by Teach Fast.
We need to see evidence of the qualifications you submitted on your application. This includes digital copies of your original GCSE certificates in maths, English, and also sciences if you'll be teaching primary and early years. If teaching from an A-level, the certificate for your A-level in that subject and your degree certificate. If you have studied outside of the UK, we'll need the equivalent of each of these. If you don't have copies of your certificates, you'll need to reorder these as they can take some time to arrive. Once you have your certificates, you need to upload the digital copies of them to your offer portal. A photo will be okay as long as the whole document is included in the frame and the photo is clear. It's worth noting though that you will be required to show the original qualification documents and DBS certificate at in-person checks at a later date, so be sure to keep all your documents safe. The checks will happen as soon as your virtual checks have been completed, and you'll be contacted about this separately. If you have any issues or questions, you can always reach out to your admissions officer.
Okay, we're halfway through. Are you still with us?
So far, we've looked at accepting your offer, submitting personal information, your CV, and evidence of your qualifications.
Now remember, if you've got any questions about anything at any time, then just reach out to your admissions officer. They're always on hand to help. Now grab a cuppa, maybe a snack, and buckle up for the second half.
References are a really important part of your offer task. Your references need to cover all study and employment activity over the last 2 years. This will be cross-referenced with your CV. That said, we do require a minimum of 2 references in total, even if this means going further back than 2 years. In addition to this, if you've had experience as an adult working with children at any time, not just in the last 2 years, we will need a reference for the most recent role you have had. You'll need to provide the details of your referees on the offer portal and we'll contact them as soon as possible on your behalf. Please ensure that you have requested permission from them to do so in advance. We can't confirm your offer until your referees have responded, so make sure to get in touch with them as soon as you can to let them know that we need to hear from them.
The link your referees will get from us expires within 7 days of receipt, so make sure they know to look out for it. If they can't see anything in their inbox, ask them to check their junk mail too. Don't forget it's your responsibility to ensure your referees complete this task. You can always log back into the offer portal for more information on our referencing process and to check your status of your references. Let's take a look at some of the most common issues candidates face when completing the references task. Providing a personal email address for their referees. You must always provide an organizational or professional email address for your referees. Providing references from schools. If providing a reference from a school, your referee must always be a head teacher. We understand you might not have worked with them closely, but they will have access to certain information that other staff will not. The third one is date discrepancies. You should check the dates you are submitted for each role or study period before submitting. It may be worth checking with your referee before you submit.
The next task is your subject knowledge assessment. This helps us to know that you have all the knowledge to be a real success in the classroom. You'll need to complete this before we can confirm your offer. It helps us to know what areas of the curriculum you may need support with. If eligible, you might be recommended to also complete a subject knowledge enhancement course off the back of this. Let's reassure you straight away, the SKA is not a time test. You can do it open book and you can have a second attempt if you need to. Once you've submitted the assessment, you'll hear back in a few weeks whether you've passed or failed and need to reattempt. Having a second attempt is really normal, so please don't worry if this happens. It's just another case for you to show us all your great knowledge. You can access the assessment on Brightspace once you've received the email with your login details. Once marked, you can then log back into Brightspace to see any feedback and any next steps. And of course, if you've got any technical issues, just reach out to your admissions team. We can help.
Last but certainly not least, we ask you to complete your DBS certificate. Please look out for an external provider to complete the certificate. They'll be in touch with you soon.
Oh wow, that was a lot of information. But don't worry, we're here to help and your admissions officer will be on hand should you have any queries regarding your offer tasks.
Remember, those tasks need completing in order for you to start our program, and they need completing in the next 10 days.
After watching this video, book a call with your Teach First point of contact, who will either be an underrepresented talent officer, an early talent officer, or an experienced hire recruiter. On this call, you get the opportunity to discuss everything and even get to know them a little bit better too.
If you have any queries about any of the tasks in the list, please reach out to your admissions officer.